Hi everybody, welcome back to Basic Beginner Budgets. I always mess that up. Um, we're going to do a video a little bit different. It's still about saving money and the cost of living and all that involved. And when I did the last ways to save video, I said we're going to do one on medical expenses. So on the back half of this is going to be some medical ways to save. But it's kind of depressing to me when I hear people say it's getting bad, inflation this and inflation that. And, you always hear inflation, inflation, inflation. So I looked up what the definition of inflation was. I'm not going to get into the big, long version of it. Basically, it's just a rise in prices. So what I did is I went and looked up 5 items of food and what they cost in 2022 and what they cost today in 2024. So let's go over those first. The first thing I looked up was hamburgers. So for a pound of hamburger in 2022, it said it was $3.89 per pound. And today in 2024, it's $4.81 per pound. So that's, a dollar higher a pound. That's a pretty good price jump. Now I'm going by the prices for where the area I'm in, which I'm in Kentucky. So, the prices in California are going to be a lot different. But let's remember, I'm in Kentucky, so that's the ranges we're going from. Now I looked up a gallon of milk, and it was whole milk. And in 2022, it had $4.09 a gallon. And now in 2024, it actually has it a little bit lower in my area at $3.90, which isn't a lot lower, but every penny counts. And so a dozen eggs in 2022 were listed at $2.86, and now they're listed at roughly $2.99, which that also depends on what size, are they cage-free, pasture-fed, cage-free eggs? Are they the brown eggs? And, is it a dozen of eggs is what we're going by, but, you can also get them in the half dozen or 18 count. And then again, in Kentucky, we have a lot of private areas where you can just buy them from people. And sometimes that tends to be a little bit more expensive, but you're getting a much better egg. I know when I have friends that have chickens. When I would get eggs from them, they were a very good filling egg. And when I would get, say, eggs from Kroger's, the shells were thinner, not as strong, and the eggs just tasted different. It's basically about the same thing as if eating a homegrown tomato versus a store-bought tomato. They're just better. They taste better to me anyway. They may not to you. But let's get back on the subject of our prices. So a loaf of bread in 2022 was $2.50. And now in 24, it's got it listed as $2. But I know when I go to Kroger's, you can get a loaf of bread for $2, but it's usually the Kroger brand, not the, let's say, the butternut brand, which bread to me is bread unless it's just stale, and then it's ugh. But like I said, I'm okay with a lot of the store brands. And then now on flour, when I went to price that, I could only find it per pound. So in 2022, it said it was 23 cents per pound. And now in 2024, it's 53 cents per pound. But the thing about flour is you can use it for so many things. Yeah, it may cost more a pound, but you can make your own bread using flour, your cakes, this or that. Flour is very versatile and a very good basic ingredient. So as you see, when I looked up the prices, some things were a little higher, some things were a little lower. it's just the way life goes anymore. Everything to me when I go grocery shopping, it seems like everything is higher. And there's not really a big, now the hamburger, that was $1 difference per pound almost. So that's a big jump. But the other things, it looks like maybe 50 cents or lower. And I mean, when you get down to 10 cents, 20 cents, you don't think that's a lot, but when it comes over, say, 15 different items, it adds up pretty quick. So again, all I can say is price comparison, take your time, use your coupons, do whatever you can do to save a few dollars because you just need it to get by. So that was my take on groceries and the difference in the costs from just a couple of years. Unfortunately, some things have gone up from week to week. And like I said, from week to week, it may only go up a few cents, but when you do from week to week over a couple months, that could be a big jump for some things. And if you eat a lot of the convenience foods, that's where they're going to get you. But yeah, so the prices are kind of stinking. So let's move on to the medical part since we're going food versus medicine. So for medical, here's what I have on it. Ways to save for medical. Save on your prescriptions. Use GoodRx or Single Care. And if you have insurance, you can use that instead of your insurance and still get a better price on some things. I know, like, say, lisinopril, which is a blood pressure medicine that I take. I can get a better price on GoodRx than what I get with my insurance copay. And when I go to Kroger's, I just tell them, use this, don't use my insurance. And so I get the other price. Just be smart when you do it. Check online and go from pharmacy to pharmacy. Unfortunately, drug prices don't change that much as far as the price from pharmacy to pharmacy. It's more manufacturer to manufacturer, boils down to what type of price you get and the demand. So yeah, just kind of if you can take a minute and look up GoodRx. Now I know if you live in an area where you have Kroger's and GoodRx, they teamed up to do this yearly subscription. I did it a few years ago before I went back to work and had insurance through work, but you paid like $60-something a year and you got your prescriptions through it. And you did 3 months at a time. Some of them were free. Some of them were like $6. Some of them were $9 for 3 months, which that's not bad. That's actually very cheap for a lot of medicines. So yeah, anything that you can save on medicines, go for it because they're, according to what I've read up on, I think over 800 medicines were going to go up by 10%. Painkillers, antibiotics, just all across the board, different medicines are increasing yet again. So watch out when you go to do that and price shop on everything. Now I have an FSA account, and what that is a federal savings account. And you can use it for medical stuff. Like when I go to the doctor, when my copays come up, I pay it with my FSA card. And what that does is it takes, like, each year when we sign up for our benefits at work, you have the option of signing up for a federal savings account. And say for like mine, I take out $2,000 a year for mine. But I have a lot of prescriptions. I'm a diabetic. I have high blood pressure. So I take several prescriptions. And so instead of having to come up with that money every time when I go get my medicine filled, I just swipe my card. And what they do is they take a little bit out of my paycheck each week. So let's say there's 52 weeks in a year. I signed up for $2,000. 4 pay periods in a year, I get paid weekly. So what they do is they take the 52 weeks, or the $2,000, divide it by the 52 weeks and take out that amount out of each paycheck. So I'm not coming up with a big lump sum at one point, and that helps me so I don't have to worry about when I have to get my medicines or when I go to the doctor for my co-pays. The money's there, or when I go to have my eyes checked even. And you can get some over-the-counter medicines with it also. I know, like during cold season, I get my cough drops. I get NyQuil. Let me think of what else that I get. Oh, I have to take a baby aspirin, so I can get that with the FSA card. So there's a lot of different options with that. I don't know if it's technically saving you money. I just know it's cheaper at the point when I need to go get my medicines. I don't have to come up with that large amount of money at one time. I'm getting it taken out in smaller versions. The other thing I have is free clinics, or in our area, we have a dentistry school. So you can go down there. Granted, you are seeing a doctor. You're just seeing a doctor in learning. So they're considered fellows in the medical field, and they have a actual dentist that has to okay whatever they do before they do it. But they are basically looking at your teeth, seeing what needs to be done, going to the actual dentist and saying, hey, this is what I feel needs to be done. Do you want to come and look at this? The dentist will come over and look at it, and then they'll do the work and fix your teeth. And you do have to pay, but it's like at a sliding scale, I guess is what it's called, going by your income. So if you're in a lower income level, then you pay a lower amount. So instead of having to go to the dentist and say, pay $300 to get your tooth pulled, it may only be $75 to $100. So that's going to save you some money. The student doctor that's learning is going to learn some things, but there is the main dentist who has to sign off. So you're just not going to, Joe Blow off the side of the road saying, hey, pull my tooth. You're getting actual dental care, and it's at a lower rate. So it's going to save you some money. The other thing I have, and I didn't know that these existed, but if you call the drug companies, a lot of times they have these discount programs, or programs that if you fall into a certain income level, you can get your medicine for free. So, for example, I worked for a company called Takeda. It's a med company. I worked in their call center. And what would happen is people who made below, say, a single person making below $40,000 a year, if they took this certain type of medicine that Takeda made, and then they were approved, they could get their medicine free for that year, which was a great thing, especially for people who are on fixed incomes or don't have much money. And let's face it, drug companies are making money over how much they charge for a drug. There's no reason that a drug should cost $600 for a prescription. That's just outrageous. I don't care who you are or whatever and what drug company you are. To me, that is outrageous. And no, I'm not going to pay it. So if you fall into these categories and you can get your medicine for free by applying to this program, by all means, go ahead. Some of these medicines are outrageous, and to be able to get it for free, and if you make $40,000 a year, I mean, there's areas in Kentucky that people are doing good to make $25,000 a year. So if they can get their medicine that they need for free, then by all means, take advantage of that. The other main thing that I can tell you that's not going to cost you anything is just take care of yourself. don't let some things people get, like you can't control some of the illnesses you get. But let's say, for instance, being a diabetic type 2, a lot of that you can control. I'm a diabetic type 2, and my goal by the end of the year is to hopefully be off 2 of my medicines. I take 2 diabetic medicines and 3 blood pressure medicines. So I want to be off at least one of my blood pressure medicines and one of my diabetic medicines. And the way I'm going about it is I am working on doing a keto diet. It has been found, I've researched it, and it's been found one of the best ways to lower your labs, lower your blood sugar, for instance, my A1C before I started this was greater than 11. I now have it down to a 7.6. I'm getting ready to go back to the doctor next month, so hopefully I've got it down a little bit further. But the best thing you can do is just get into a better eating habit, better exercise, just overall take better care of yourself. Then you'll be less likely to have to go to the doctor. Your insurance premiums, a lot of times they're better. I cannot emphasize the importance of taking care of yourself. If your doctor tells you you're pre-diabetic, then it's time to get on the ball to do something better with, most of it's diet controlled, but get on the ball to do better, whether it's a keto diet. There's a thing called a carnivore diet, and dietitians and all these people will argue with you, no, that's not going to help, but do your research and you'll see what does help and what doesn't help. And some doctors will refer you for a keto diet, a low carb. Watch your carbs; they are the worst. I think for me, carbs are worse than sugar. So, okay, I'll get off my kick on the diet and diabetic and all that. But in all, take care of yourself, because that's going to be the cheapest and easiest way to save money, because otherwise you will be paying out the wazoo for prescriptions and doctor visits and health care in general. So all in all, if you take care of yourself, hopefully your medical will get better, or you won't have any medical. And hopefully you'll never have to come to the point where you have to decide, do I want this food or do I need this medicine more? Because it's a shame that we've all come to the high cost of everything. And again, like I said, take care of yourself, watch your prices, watch your money, keep track of your money. And all in all, hopefully everything will go good. And I just want to say thank you for watching the video. Sorry for getting on a rant at the end. If you like this video, please subscribe and then join in for the next one. I'm not for sure what the next ways to save is going to be. I think it might be on automobiles. There's a lot we can do to save money with our autos. So that will probably be the next one. I do want to say thank you for your time. And again, have a good day and be kind to everyone. And you all enjoy the rest of your weekend.